Welcome to Triumphant Over Trauma, where resilience reigns and women rewrite their stories of victory after trauma. I'm Gina, your guide on this empowering journey. With a mission to help women overcome trauma, I'm here to inspire you to cultivate a positive mindset, embrace self-love, and find peace. Join me as we celebrate strength, reclaim power, and triumph over adversity together. Welcome back, my beautiful friend. Take a deep breath with me. In through your nose. Hold it for just a moment. And exhale. Let the world you've been carrying slide off your shoulders for just a little while. You've made it here. And that means you are choosing yourself today. And that choice alone is powerful. Today's episode is all about one of the hardest and most liberating truths you will ever embrace. The struggles that once broke you can become the very fuel that propels you into the life you were always meant to live. I know the pain you faced has been heavy, maybe unbearable at times. The nights you've cried silently into your pillow. The mornings you've put on a brave face for the world even when you felt like you were shattering inside. Trauma has a way of making us feel small, silenced, and powerless. But you are not powerless. You are a force of nature. When we stop seeing our struggles as the end of our story and start seeing them as the fires that forges our strength, everything changes. Imagine this. The same pain that once made you feel broken can become your spark. The match that lights the fire of courage, ambition, and purpose in you. Your heartbreak can become the soil where your resilience grows. Your rejection becomes the redirection that leads you exactly where you're meant to be. Here's the truth. Pain is not a punishment. It's a teacher. And when we stop running from it, when we sit with it long enough to listen, it hands us the keys to our own freedom. You are allowed to use every scar, every setback, every "I can't believe this happened to me" moment as proof of your strength and as the very thing that drives you forward. So as you listen today, I want you to lean in. Let these words wrap around you like the warmest embrace and remind you that you are not broken. You are becoming. Your story isn't over. It's just getting good. Together, we're going to take that pain you've been carrying and turn it into power. And that power is going to lead you straight into a life where you feel safe, confident, and deeply proud of the individual you are becoming. Let's begin. Picture this with me for a moment. Living with unprocessed pain feels like carrying a backpack full of bricks everywhere you go. It slows you down, weighs heavy on your spirit. And no matter how far you try to run, it's always there. Pressing into your shoulders, reminding you of what you've been through. Life feels small, reactive, and colorless. You second-guess every decision. You hold back your voice because you're afraid of being misunderstood or hurt again. You live in survival mode, hyperaware, hypervigilant, exhausted from being at war with yourself. You continue to face depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and complete emotional and mental paralysis. Nothing seems to be going right, and everything is going wrong. Now imagine setting that backpack down. Imagine opening it up taking out every single brick and looking at it closely, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Imagine discovering that each one holds a lesson, a message, or a piece of strength that you can now use to build something solid under your feet. A foundation instead of a prison. That is what it looks like when we have the courage to sit with our pain and turn it into power. Life becomes technicolor again. Your voice becomes steady. Your choices become intentional. And you begin to create a life that feels free, vibrant, and aligned with who you are becoming, while breathing with ease, experiencing less anxiety and panic, and knowing a sense of joy, fulfillment, and peace that you have never experienced before. But to get there, we must embrace our shadow selves, the hidden parts of us that we often try to shove down, deny, or ignore. Your shadow is not your enemy. It's simply the part of you that holds the wounds you haven't yet looked at. Let's break this down. Projections. These are the qualities we dislike in ourselves that we unconsciously see in others. For example, if you've been hurt by betrayal in the past, you may find yourself assuming everyone is untrustworthy, even those who haven't given you a reason to doubt them. The shadow work here is to pause and ask, am I projecting an old wound onto this person or situation? Triggers. These are the emotional landmines that set us off because they touch a wound that hasn't healed. For instance, if someone raises their voice, it might send you back mentally to a time when you were unsafe. Instead of reacting automatically, shadow work invites you to breathe, ground yourself, and gently remind yourself that you are safe now, allowing you to respond instead of just react. Patterns. These are the repeated cycles we find ourselves stuck in because we haven't yet shifted the underlying belief that drives them. Maybe you keep attracting toxic partners or staying in jobs that drain you because deep down you believe you're not worthy of more. Recognizing the pattern is the first step to breaking it. When we avoid these parts of ourselves, they don't go away. They grow. They gain power in the dark, attaching themselves to everything we do, like a worn-out sticker that clings no matter how many times we try to peel it off. But when we choose to face them, we take our power back. Here's the truth. Sitting in your pain is not easy. It is uncomfortable. It will bring tears, anger, and moments where you want to run back to your old ways just to avoid the sting. But growth doesn't happen on the comfortable couch of avoidance. Growth happens in the raw, messy moments when you decide to face the storm instead of hiding from it. And when you do, something miraculous happens. Your perspective shifts. That moment that once felt like it broke you becomes the very thing that makes you unshakable. Your truth is waiting for you in those quiet, still moments when you're brave enough to stop running. That is where you reclaim yourself, where you stop surviving and start living. When you take back your voice, your worth, and your future. You are not your wounds. You are the warrior who walks out of the battlefield carrying the lessons and building a life of purpose because of them. And today we are going to talk about exactly how to do that, how to sit with your pain, learn from it, and turn it into unstoppable fuel for your success. Now that we've cracked open the door to this truth, it's time to walk all the way through it. This is where we stop just talking about transformation and actually begin to practice it. The beauty of this work is that you don't have to figure it all out at once. You just have to take one step at a time. Think of this as your personal roadmap, a gentle but powerful process to help you take all that pain, all those hard moments, and start turning them into the fuel that will drive your next chapter. I want you to think of these next steps as sacred invitations, each one designed to bring you closer to your truth, closer to your power, and closer to the version of you who is waiting on the other side of the pain. So grab a notebook, open the Notes app on your phone, or simply sit with me and take this in. Here are 5 clear steps you can start practicing today to begin turning your struggles into strength and your pain into power. Step number 1, own your story. Stop running from it. Your first step is to stop pretending the pain didn't happen. Acknowledge what you've been through without judgment, without shame. Write it down in a journal. Say it out loud to yourself or tell someone you trust. Here is an example. If you went through a painful breakup or divorce, instead of saying, "I guess I just wasn't good enough," reframe it. "I survived something that taught me about what I will and will not accept in love." Owning the story takes back the power from the pain. It puts you in the driver's seat. Step number 2, extract the lessons. Find the gold in the ashes. Every struggle carries a lesson if you're willing to dig for it. Ask yourself, what did this experience teach me about myself, my boundaries, my worth, or my strength? Here is an example. If you experienced workplace trauma, maybe a toxic boss who constantly undermines you, the lesson might be learning to trust your instincts, speak up when your boundaries are crossed, or choose environments that honor your voice. The lesson becomes the treasure you carry forward. Step number 3, rewrite the narrative. Change the meaning you attach to it. Pain can shrink you if you let it, but you can rewrite the story and make yourself the heroine. Take that old limiting belief that grew out of your struggle and flip it on its head. Here is an example. If your trauma told you, "You're too much, stay small to be loved," rewrite it. "I am powerful. My presence is a gift, and those meant for me will celebrate my fullness." When you rewrite the narrative, you change how your brain stores that memory, from victimhood to victory. Step number 4, take aligned action. Turn insight into momentum. Transformation happens when you move on what you've learned. Take one small, brave action that reflects the individual you are becoming, not the individual your pain kept you as. Here is an example. If you've always kept quiet out of fear of judgment, start by speaking up in a meeting, sharing your opinion in a group, or posting something vulnerable on social media. Action builds confidence, and confidence becomes the evidence that you're moving forward. Step number 5, create rituals of power. Anchor your new identity daily. True change sticks when you reinforce it every day. Create rituals that remind you of who you are now. Breath work, affirmations, visualization, journaling, or movement can all become a part of your daily fuel. Here is an example. Each morning, journal one thing you're proud you overcame, one thing you've learned, and one thing you'll do today to honor your growth. By consistently feeding your mind with proof of your evolution, you make your new identity unshakable. We just covered a lot of information in a brief amount of time, so let's take a moment to take a deep breath together right now. Inhale the truth that you are not what happened to you, and exhale the belief that you have to stay there forever. We just walked through 5 powerful steps together: owning your story, extracting the lessons, rewriting the narrative, taking aligned action, and creating daily rituals of power. These aren't just steps. They are the bridge between the version of you that pain tried to keep small and the version of you who is bold, radiant, and free. I want you to know this. Every time you choose to lean in instead of run away, every time you take one small step towards your healing, you're building a life that reflects who you really are. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. If you're ready to go deeper, to walk this path with guidance and clarity, I'd love to invite you to explore my course, Finding Direction from Within, at www.bodyelementsmindelevation.com. Whether you want to move at your own pace with a do-it-yourself version or work side by side with me, this course is designed to help you gain the confidence, clarity, and courage to turn your pain into power. As always, thank you for being here with me today. Wherever you are, have a wonderful day, and may you feel the softness of peace in your heart, the lightness of joy in your spirit, and the quiet strength that reminds you that you are more than enough. This is Gina, signing off. Thank you for tuning in to Triumphant Over Trauma, where resilience prevails and women rewrite their stories of victory after trauma. Remember, healing is a journey, not a destination. Keep embracing your strength, cultivating resilience, and shining your light bright. You are capable of triumphing over any challenge life throws your way. Until next time, keep rising and thriving. You've got this.